everyone. How are you today? I hope that you are doing fantastic. Um, I wanted to welcome you back to another installment episode, whatever you want to call it. I don't know what they call these things on YouTube, but I just wanted to welcome you to another, I'm going to say installment for right now, of my channel, another episode on my channel. Thank you for choosing to watch this video today. You could have watched some other video and skipped past mine, but I thank you for coming on over, seeing what I got to say. My name is Shireen, and I am the owner of Just Living Naturals. That's my brand, and this is my channel that I talk about products, hairstyle, at home DIYs, and just random thoughts that come through my head. So it's just everything on here. So for those who are new, I just want to welcome you. Thank you for joining. Please go ahead and hit that like button, that subscribe button to help grow my channel. And for those who are, and drop a comment. Maybe you have a video idea that you want to share, and I can create that. I do make DIY products, like show how to make certain hair products and things of that nature. Talk about groceries, my Jamaican background, and all the things. So go ahead and drop a comment. And for those who are returning, thank you so much for supporting my channel. So you can go ahead and hit your like button and leave a comment. Okay, so today's not going to be a hair video. It's not going to be a DIY video. I already did my hair. As you can see, I did some kind of mini twist. Right? My hair is going through a change, guys, because of perimenopause that I am in. I'm losing some hair. I already have very thick hair, so you might not be able to tell. You might look at this and think, oh, she's not losing any hair, but I know I am, because so I'm losing some hair, so my hair is not as thick as it used to be, and especially around the crown area. But I still have my edges and all the things. Practice low manipulation hairstyle, so I'm usually in a twist. I only usually pull these out for church, and then I wash my hair and they go right back into a twist. So but anyways, because I try not to tug at it too much, because then I'll be losing too much hair. So excuse me, allergy season is here, guys. Spring is here. Spring does not care for me. I care for spring, but spring doesn't care for me. So I'm fighting the allergies. So anyway, so I just wanted to come on to share some thoughts, right? So I'm trying not to let this be a long video. So as I mentioned earlier, I am in perimenopause. And that comes with a lot of new revelations about women's health that I did not think of, that I did not consider. And, I'm learning so much. So this life change, I come to realize that our foreparents, grandparents and such, were just way too private about too many things, this being one of them. They did not share their struggles, the things that they were going through. You knew they were hot, they'd always be fanning, those kinds of things, but you didn't know all the other things that came with this thing. You didn't know that it wasn't just a loss in period and heat, that it's not like you just stop your period and then you were getting hot or whatever. There were more layers to it. So this journey has taught me a lot of things, but to my shock and amazement, I kind of knew some of it, but I didn't know to the extent. I'm realizing that even the doctors, now it's one thing you go to a regular doctor and they don't know nothing, but your GYN should know all things about the woman parts, because that's their job. Their job is the female body. And worse yet, if they're a woman. And even worse is if they're a woman who are in menopause or perimenopause stage. Case in point, um, I was I had the opportunity to interview a gynecologist about some women issues. I knew of individuals or an individual who was having some symptoms, right? They were well in their age, well past periods and things, but they were having these, they were still having hot flashes. And they were having these pins and needles in their hands and feet and things of that nature. So my first thought was, that's a loss of estrogen, that's perimenopause. So I interviewed this gynecologist, and to my shock and amazement, this woman who is of the age, she's in menopause, full on menopause. She's a gynecologist, and she said, when I mentioned those symptoms to her, she says, "Oh, I don't think that's menopause. What I know of menopause is hot flashes, dryness, loss of your period stops. But I don't know of any hand tingling and feet. Mouth to the floor. Why? Because menopause and perimenopause symptoms, specifically perimenopause symptoms, is way more than those. Okay? Way more than what she listed. And she had no clue of none of these things. And I'm like, you're seeing patients every day. When they come in and they share these things that they're going through, right? What are you telling them? Are you sending them to go to their primary care physician to be tested for other things? What are you telling them? Like, I remember when I first started going, feeling like I was going into perimenopause, right? I was about 39, and I remember going to my gynecologist, and I told him what I was feeling, like a loss in libido, and I just wasn't feeling myself. I just felt very weird, just my body didn't feel like itself, and I felt like I was going through a change. And the gentleman looked at me and said, "You are too young to be going through perimenopause. It's nothing. It's probably just a little hormone shift or something, but it's nothing." And I left feeling like I'm losing my mind. Maybe I'm just tired. Maybe I'm just stressed. No, ma'ams and sirs, that was not what was happening. I was going through the change. It was the beginning of the change, because just 2 years later, and the pandemic hit, I went into full, because that symptom started when I was 39, and it just kept getting a little worse, but the pandemic sent me into full drive because of the stress of it, the stress of everything, not knowing if you're going to live or die the next day, all those kinds of things just sent me straight into it. And I just was like, man, imagine if I had known I could have prepared my mind, prepared myself for the craziness that was to come. And I think doctors are doing their patients a big disservice by not educating themselves, especially if that's your field of choice, if that's your field of medicine that you practice every day, and you're seeing women of all ages going through all manners of hormone changes. Why do you not equip yourself with the information so that you can better treat your patients, is my question. And I'm like, what are you telling your people, for them to now go and research their own self on Dr. Google? Google is not a doctor, but now that's what we're faced with, because our own doctors know nothing. And it saddens me. And then I had to be pushing and asking these questions. And finally, she shared that they did have someone who knows all things perimenopause, all things hormonal. And I says, this is the regular gynecologist, but they have gone and studied and done all the things to know all the things related to the job that they are doing. Why did you not do that, ma'am? So I figured I'm going to lay out my frustrations on here. Who's to tell? I don't know how many people this will see, but I just feel like there's something that we all need to be aware of. When we as women go to the doctor's office, we have to come with information, because a lot of times these doctors don't know nothing, and we have to, and they are either giving us no information or misinformation, or is lost. And because I'm going through perimenopause and I'm having so many symptoms of things that I just found so weird, I had to keep researching. Could this be menopause related? Okay, guys, so I think that I'm going to cut the video short right here. I'll instead make a part 2. So I'll split the video, and then the other piece of it will be in part 2. So you can watch that afterwards, after you watch this one, or to come back another day and watch the other piece. But this is very important information that all women should have. Or if you're a man and you have sisters, you have wives, friends, so you can share this as well to them. And so I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day or night or morning. And remember that you are God's child. Remember that Jesus came, he suffered, and he died so that you can have an abundant life. So live your life abundantly, because that is God's hope and desire for you, and that is mine as well. So go ahead, have a great day. Remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe. If you haven't yet subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And if you'd like to see more videos and want to be notified, there's also a notification bell that you can hit, so that you can be notified when a new video drops. So take care, guys. Bye-bye for now.